little bit of a trigger warning. We're going to talk about processing our meat birds today. So yesterday we did the 4 meat birds that we got from the spring batch. They processed out really well, and they did well for gaining for all the trouble that we had. We will not be doing the early batch of day olds again. It was traumatic to say the least. It was too cold, so we lost a few birds to the cold, but we also lost over half to failure to thrive. They were just a bad batch of birds and a bad situation. So, a few weeks ago, we got these little day olds here. You can see them. And this is our setup that we usually keep them in. It's triple wire setup. It's outdoors, and they're starting to feather up. I did keep them in the building until they were a week. We had them a week. And they are doing really well. So these guys will grow for another few weeks, probably mid to end of August. We'll be doing those. I'm going to show you our setup. It's nothing fancy, and I'll try to keep it not graphic. Okay, so over there you can see that we have a bucket. That's what we use for our cone, and we dispatch the birds there. Over here is there's still a bit of cleaning up to do. The feathers are hard to clean up. This is a stainless steel sink that we bought from friends of ours. I do the plucking on this side of the table, and Chris uses this folding table, and that's where we pluck and we gut our chickens. So that's our setup. It's right next to where we keep the bigger birds. So we just go in, we catch them out, we dispatch them. We have if you're familiar with the turkey cookers, so it's a big, huge propane burner. And we put a big, huge pot on there with water, and that's how we use to pluck them. We pluck by hand. And we've done 12 birds at one time, two at a time. So that goes pretty quickly for plucking. And then we take them down to the house where we part them out. And you'll see some video of Chris vacuum sealing coming up. But we cut all the parts off. I usually save the carcasses and make a stock, but this time, where it was just 4 birds and I still have a lot of stock left in my freezer, I didn't do that. It just went into the compost. I did trim every bit of meat off that I could get off, and Chris did as well. We do that together. And we made some quesadillas last night. What are you doing, Chris?
What are we doing?
We're vacuum sealing
chicken
for the freezer from our from our first batch of meat chickens. And what did we learn? We will not be doing the early day olds again. We had way too much loss, and it was way too hard. But we ended up with 4 healthy chickens, really healthy chickens, good sized chickens, going into the freezer. We may vacuum seal everything in packets that are the right size for us for a meal. we did all of our own processing, and then we just parted them out, and usually we'll keep the carcasses and make stock, but we have a lot of stock in the freezer from last year still, so we didn't bother with this batch, but we probably will with the other batch. So that's what we did today, right?
Yes, we did.
Chris is the vacuum seal king. He does all the vacuum sealing. I don't know what kind we have. What kind do we have? Food Saver. And then we use the Kirkland bags. And they come in a box, so it's a variety pack. And you get 3 different sizes. And 2 different sizes and some pre-cut ones. And then we put it in the freezer. It's a long day and it's hot. Yeah, we use, once they are plucked and, all of that is done, they go right into a cooler with ice and water, and then we transport them to the house where it is air conditioned, and we, like I say, we part them all out, put them into the freezer. We ended up with 22 meals worth of chicken of various parts, and it was about $12 a bird. So 22 meals for $24 is a really good investment, even with the loss of those chickens that we lost. I think we had 12 originally, we ended up with 4. So even with all of that loss, we didn't do too bad, because we did lose those chickens at the very beginning and hadn't been feeding them for long. So chickens are a good investment. What we usually do for our chickens is we keep 6 and sell 6. And the way we price out our chicken is we cost out all of the feed and the cost of the birds. And those 6 chickens that we sell are priced to reflect that cost, and that pays for the 6 that we keep. Now we have 6 turkeys here, and we will sell 5 of those and keep 1, and we cost out the turkeys at with the same formula. So how much feed, how much it costs for each turkey, and then that will pay for our turkey, and usually we make a bit of money on our turkeys. Caring for birds is usually fairly simple. It's feeding and watering. Like I say, we had a traumatic beginning to our season this season, but usually it's fairly simple. You're feeding, you're watering, and then it's the day of processing, and then you have your meat in the freezer. My best advice is to invest in a good vacuum sealer that, of course, keeps the meat really well in the freezer. It's just like the day it was processed. And yeah, it's not nice business. And of course, every time is emotional for me, and Chris, of course. But it does feel good to be able to provide our own meat, and our hope is always to save us some money during the winter. I often get sicker in the winter. I often have a lot more medical appointments and medical costs, and so we try to save money in the winter by growing our own meat. So there are turkeys in there. As you can see, we got a Tom. He's pretty happy about himself. He's pretty proud of himself. So we have 3 toms, I think, and 3 hens. What a good boy. What a nice boy. Oh, you're so nice. Look at you. Wow. The turkeys are a lot harder to process. They are beasts. When we do our turkeys, we've been doing them when they were about 20 pounds. This year, we are going to process them earlier because I've gotten injured. Chris has gotten injured. They are very strong birds. And so, if you're interested in how we process our turkeys, I can go over that a bit closer to the day of. But just leave a comment and I'll fill you in on that. But that's a bit about our chickens. And then, of course, I have the laying hens at home for eggs. And we didn't used to be big egg eaters. And we're still not really big egg eaters, but it's nice to have the chickens home. They, of course, are Beans' pets, and they make compost for us. So yeah, that's a bit about our poultry. I can do a video about our other meat sources if you like. Of course, we have 2 pigs here on the property, but there are other meat sources that we use to save us money. I can do a video about that too if you're interested. I hope I didn't make this too graphic for you guys. I try to keep it really I try to keep it PG for you guys. I know it's not a nice thing, but we respect our animals and we love our animals very much. And so we do our best to keep them happy and safe. So yeah, that's a bit about our poultry. And I hope you guys like this video. So if you liked this video, of course, please like it, give it the old thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know, and share with your friends, tell your friends. We are in very rural Nova Scotia on the South Shore, and we are homesteading in the middle of the forest. We don't live here just yet, but we will someday. And so yes, if you like this video, please, like I say, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe so that you can see more of our videos. And of course, it helps us if we have more subscribers. I'm going to pick a raspberry and say thanks for watching. I'll see you when I see ya.